Putin's favorite TV news pundits boast that Russia could destroy the US East Coast with just 2 nuclear missiles and rant about killing 2 million Ukrainians to denazify the country. Alexei Zhuravlev, member PF Russia's parliament, issued nuke threat on state TV. Said entire US East Coast could be wiped out with just 2 new Sarmat-2 missiles, with another 2 needed to destroy the Zhuravlev threatened to destroy 2 million Ukrainians he called incurable Nazis. It is just the latest threats from Putin's puppet media to drum up support for war. Russian state media has issued a chilling new nuclear threat to the US, boasting that Putin could wipe out the entire east and west coast with just 4 missiles. Alexei Zhuravlev, a member of Putin's puppet parliament, issued the threat Monday, saying there will be nothing left on either coast after strikes using Russia's new Sarmat-2 nuke, and that the mushroom cloud will be visible from Zhuravlev then pivoted to threaten 2 million Ukrainians with annihilation, describing them as incurable Nazis who will never be convinced to support Russia's. It is just the latest in a long line of threats to be issued by Putin's tame media as hosts try to whip up support for his ill-judged invasion of Ukraine. Zhuravlev was speaking Monday to Yevgeny Popov, a talk show host on the main Russia 1 channel and also an MP, when he went on a nuclear responding to a CBS News piece from late April in which hosts discussed what a nuke strike on New York would look like. Zhuravlev accused them of calculating incorrectly. In the piece, reporter Tony Ducopel had simulated an attack with a bomb the size of the one dropped on Hiroshima in 1945. And discussed a mushroom cloud that would dwarf the Empire State Building and destroy much of Manhattan. Guys, you're so funny. What methods are they even using? Zhuravlev scoffed. He added, I will competently tell you, that to destroy the entire east coast of the US, 2 Sarmat missiles are necessary and 2 missiles for the West 4 missiles, and there will be nothing left. They think the mushroom cloud will be taller than a high-rise. That mushroom cloud will be visible from Mexico, he continued. Don't delude yourselves. What should be said is that there will be nothing left. No one harbors any illusions about it, that everyone will be fine in case of nuclear war. No one will be fine, but calculate it correctly. Sarmat-2 is Russia's latest generation nuclear missile thought to be capable of carrying up to 15 hypersonic warheads, which Putin brags are capable of evading all current missile defenses. Though the exact yield of each warhead is unknown, Russian military sources claim it is more than 2 megatons of TNT, or more than 130 times the power of the little boy bomb used on Hiroshima. Putin bragged during a test last month that the missile can hit any country on Earth, and Russian state media has so far threatened strike France, Germany, the UK and US over their support for the war in Ukraine. The Kremlin has not yet issued such a threat itself, but Putin has warned that countries interfering in Ukraine will face consequences unlike anything in history. Zhuravlev then pivoted to talking about Ukrainians, picking up on a study that found 40% are not in favor of taking down Soviet memorials from the Second World War, which is happening in some parts of the country. A further 36% had no opinion, the poll showed, which, according to Zhuravlev, means they are secretly against the move but are too afraid to say it. So, 3/4 of Ukrainians are against tearing down monuments, only 19% support it, he argued. If we reinstall their brains correctly, 12 to 15% will also believe it shouldn't be done, so the maximum of 5% are incurable. That means 2 million Ukrainians must be fully denazified, he concluded, which means to be destroyed. It is hardly the first time that Russian state media has threatened to wipe out large sections of Ukraine in Putin's so-called special military operation, but it does add further evidence to what some world leaders have described as a genocide. Russia is now into the 4th month of what was intended to be a days-long war in Ukraine to topple the government and install a Moscow-friendly puppet regime. Having failed in his mission to take the capital Kyiv, Putin has now ordered his generals to seize the eastern region of Donbas. This battle has yielded some success, with Mariupol, a key port city on the Sea of Azov, falling to Putin's men earlier this month. Russian forces also appear to be on the verge of taking Severodonetsk, which would put the total capture of Luhansk province within reach. Their next mission would then be the capture of Sloviansk and Kramatorsk, which would allow Putin to claim command of the majority of Donetsk, and with it, the liberation of Donbas. But it remains to be seen what will happen after that. Ukraine has shown no willingness to negotiate any kind of peace deal even if the two regions are seized, and is likely to keep fighting provided the supply of Western weapons keeps up. Counterattacks in other parts of the country have already met with success, having pushed the Russians away from the northern city of Kharkiv to their own border. More attacks are also underway in the south near the city of Kherson, which was seized early on during the war by Putin's men. Kyiv says its goal is to push Russia back from all of its territory, including areas it occupied before the invasion, such as Crimea. While it seems unlikely to succeed, the plan means fighting is unlikely to stop even if Putin declares victory in Donbas. Volodymyr Zelensky has slammed the EU for a lack of unity as the bloc failed to agree a promised ban on Russian oil imports. The Ukrainian president urged leaders to put aside all the quarrels inside Europe, all internal arguments, that are only encouraging Russia as they wrangled over ending the continent's dependence on Russian fossil. But his entreaty failed, as the 27-nation bloc only managed to agree a ban on 70% of Russia's oil in the face of opposition from Hungary. And the EU will continue to pay Putin hundreds of billions of euros per year for gas, a key source of income for Russia, after it was exempted from sanctions. The partial oil embargo marks a significant climb down for the EU since Commission President Ursula von der Leyen proposed a complete ban 4 weeks ago. Viktor Orban, Hungary's hardline leader who shares good ties with Moscow, had been bitterly opposed, saying cutting his country off from Russian oil would be like dropping a nuclear bomb on its economy. In the event, leaders agreed to a ban on Russian oil being brought in by sea, which Council President Charles Michel said on Monday would mean cutting off 70% of supply. Taken together with unilateral action from Germany and Poland to shut off pipeline oil, it will mean an effective ban of 90% by the end of the year, he added. The ban will deprive Russia's economy of hundreds of billions of dollars in trade, along with billions more in coal exports which have already been banned. It forms part of a sixth package of sanction on Russia which will be published later this week, including cutting off another of its banks from the SWIFT payment system, as well as restrictions on more state media and asset freezes for individuals. But an exemption will mean that Hungary continues to receive oil through its branch of the Druzhba pipeline, which also supplies Slovakia and the Czech Republic, in a trade thought to be worth tens of billions of dollars. And von der Leyen said the exemption will be temporary while Hungary seeks ways to replace Russian oil supplies, but did not give a firm end date.